No, we're not live yet. We are now, John. So, hey guys. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this, but I figured we'd give it a shot and see how this works. We're just both painting at the same time, so figure what the hell, we'll just do it at the same time. And live stream it. I was going to do it earlier myself, but John joined in. I already put the last video. I think I put it up. I might have put it up for the wrong time, but I'll put it up later. Hey, nice. Love it. So should we give people a backstory about that or no?
I don't know how much mystery we want to keep with it.
Let's keep a mystery. Let's keep them guessing as to what it has to do with. Maybe eventually we will tell people what it is for real. But oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I need a little paper plate. I'm gonna be sponging my latex on. I'm gonna grab a paper plate. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
And we have nobody watching, which is fine.
Nobody watching. Brilliant. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a paper plate. Most modeling accessories can be literally purchased from the supermarket. So this is where I'm still finding bits of mask or liquid mask still sitting on the panels that I haven't rubbed off. And I'm just doing streaking at the moment by hand with a small brush.
Are you talking at all?
I did talk a little bit, but then I get a bit nervous about the main star.
All right, I gotta get my earplugs back in so I can hear what you're saying. All right. So what are you doing?
I'm streaking on the Ghost at the moment.
Okay.
Using enamel paint, and then once I've drawn the streaks on, or painted them on with the paintbrush, I'm going to go over with a flat brush, wet with thinner, and just streak it down.
Okay.
I would have been airbrushing, but you've brought me over to the table where I can't airbrush.
Well, yeah, I was airbrushing earlier, so
yeah, but if you
big deal.
Well, no, I suppose not. But I don't know if when you go live, people want to hear my noisy compressor going.
You mean like me opening up my new sponge? That loud noise?
Yeah, all that horrible ripping sound.
Ripping, yeah. I had to go out and get a new sponge because I don't have a good sponge.
Yeah, always got to have a sponge.
Oh, and
makeup. This is a makeup sponge, I think.
Yeah, I wanted something with like big holes in it, like.
Yeah. Like, well, when you tear it, you can kind of make your own.
I can't tear this. For some reason, I can't tear the freaking thing.
I can't see you because my phone is now above my head on a stand, so I can't actually see anything you're doing. So I'm just
well, I'm actually doing it on camera now. That's maybe a bigger one. Because like with this, I want bigger chips rather than little tiny ones.
Well, on a size of the tank that big, you've got to really go for it.
Yeah, that's work. That'll be nice.
What? So explain what you've done to the tank so far. It looks amazing.
Well, all I did was I did black primer, which I actually did describe in I actually put up the recorded version that I just did, putting on the base coat.
Right.
Which I wasn't sure if people would be interested or how it would go, because you know how it is setting up shit and like things going wrong or going right. You never know how things are going to go. Like
mainly wrong.
Mainly wrong, yes. Especially when it comes to airbrush drying out. And I cleaned mine up yesterday, so as I knew I was going to be painting a lot today.
What have you been putting through it? Enamel or acrylic?
Acrylic.
Yeah, well, that'll. I mean, well, they both block up horrendously, don't they? If you don't clean them out.
No, it blocked up. It didn't. I have trouble when it blocks up, mostly when it's between when I fill up the reservoir again with more paint.
Right.
That's good. I can't really see what you're doing either. So like,
Is that because of the screen? Is that because of the screen's bad, or is it because
no, it's because of my back is to the camera.
Okay, well, we don't need to see what we're doing.
No,
we pat each other on the back enough during the day.
This is true, actually. I sent an invitation to Jason. I just want to see if he joined.
I told Marvin as well, so send one to Marvin.
Okay, I'll send it to Marvin. Yeah. Let me just. I had a little issue getting it, like, set up. I put the wrong time, like 10 times. I actually posted it too. So yeah, it'd be cool if Marvin joined us. And I sent it to Jason, but he may be sleeping. Guess I'll just keep it like that because I'm not looking at what you're doing. So yeah, I guess just going wherever. I'm not. This is going to get painted over, kind of like I love what you did with yours. So I'm gonna. Unfortunately,
I'm sure what you do is going to be amazing too. And you already have got some cool looking sort of. I can't see the screen, but from the picture you sent me, it's very
streaky.
Streaky, yes.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, you're a fan of that, aren't you, with your base coats?
I really am. I absolutely love how it looks when it's like not solid colored. You know what I mean? It's just it's so much better that way.
Yeah, I remember painting the Steve Nyson A-wing, and the airbrush I was using was crap, and it kept spitting and it wouldn't give me a nice flow and a nice base coat. And in the end, I ended up with a really mottled red.
And
then when I put the mist coats over it and all the weathering, it actually looked great. You know, it was a happy accident for sure, but it was like...
Oh, you love when there's happy accidents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. I'm not even like doing any rhyme or reason here. I'm just kind of like putting it on wherever and see, because I'm just going to spray over it with, this color again.
Yeah.
And then maybe even, I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. All I know is
where's your compressor?
I don't have it on right now. It's over here on the side.
That's a quiet compressor.
No, I turned it off because I'm just sponging right now.
All right. Okay.
And we have nobody watching. Sorry.
You're sponge chipping with liquid mask, are you?
Yes.
Right. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember to rotate that sponge in case you get repeated trips.
I did a couple times. Yeah, I kind of stopped myself and realized what I was doing.
I can spot that a mile away when someone's done the same chip mark over and over again. It's like just for such a simple thing of just turning the sponge, it eliminates that error of like repeated chips.
And it's very easy to forget to do that as well, because like you're kind of like thinking, oh, this will look good here, this will look good there.
Yeah, you're getting carried away.
I haven't done much, to be honest. I haven't done a whole lot of sponge chipping. I think I only did it really on the ATST. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm kind of talking at a different angle.
Yeah. I can hear you fine.
From the microphone.
No, I can hear you fine.
But yeah, we kind of thought, well, we're talking and we both want to get things painted, so we might as well just do it this way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People have asked me to do videos on this, and I just can't. To be so truthful with you, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're just working on something, and you just think it's quite a lot of effort to set it all up with the camera and then edit it and that sort of thing. I'm just like, I don't need to kill the mojo at the moment. I need to keep flowing and I need to keep going. So
yeah, and you just want to get something done, and by the time you have stuff all set up, half your day's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like it's just like, I'd rather just be, I don't like that. Let's wipe it off. Yeah, I don't even know how much you'll see this, because I don't know. I love how you did yours. You put a lot of sponging on, didn't you?
I think I got so carried away that I just didn't stop.
Yeah.
But
it's easy for that to do that too.
But you've got to remember, it's such a huge, it's like a massive canvas you're working on, so you do need to apply those.
Yeah, I feel like I might go too far or not enough.
What color are you gonna put on next after this?
Well, I'll be honest. I was just want to put. I want to put another coat of white on, right? And to get like the different shades,
Yeah.
like this is like grayish blue, and then that's not doing so well. And then I don't really know. I don't have a plan, to be honest. I just am like
Hitting
all right,
hoping.
just poking and hoping,
It always seems to work.
Yes. No, it never fucking works. Well, I mean, it has so far for me. So,
Oh yeah.
Who's
See,
right?
I've just put some orange on mine for rust, and you forget how vibrant that rust is. It's just like,
oh yeah, it's
over a
stark.
white base coat as well. It's lethal. You got to be so careful with it because it's. But before long, you've just got a big orange blob on your model.
You know what? I did set it up for 2 hours from now, but it's streaming right now live, and I feel like I don't think a lot of people know it's actually.
Do you want to? We can jump off and then jump back on again.
No. It's fine the way it is. I don't think a lot of people are care
or care.
Yes. It's a little confusing because I had to set it up in the future. Can't see it yet. Why can't Marvin see it?
I did. It's Marvin asking. I've messaged him.
Oh, you can't. I'll be watching, not joining. Have to work. Okay, so it's not being. Let me see if it's on my phone playing, because we might be talking to ourselves for a while.
All right.
Let's see here. It says upcoming. It's not playing. Why is it not playing? Why? I did set it up to do it now. Still trying to figure this stuff out, John. It says we're live, but I don't know why it says we're not. Like, it says we are live. You on YouTube?
We're live then.
Yeah, but I went on YouTube to see if it was live, and it was not. Oh yeah, it is. It's playing live.
We need one friend that's slightly interested that can come on and say, "Yeah, you're live."
Okay. I'm gonna have to redo this. I don't know why. Let's change. See, this is me in a nutshell doing, like figuring stuff out on with computers and stuff.
Well, I know, and then like that's a prime example of why we don't film stuff, because the precious time we get to model has then been spent clicking buttons on a computer trying to get shit to work.
Right. It's just right. Exactly. All right. So now why won't it paste it there? Mother effer. There it is. Okay. Copy. I hear myself twice.
That's annoying.
The live stream is a little bit delayed. Okay, delete that one.
We good?
Yes, we're good. I think. Actually, it's a cooler wet thumbnail. So, yeah. All right,
Well, there
we're
you go. We're on. So
good. So instead of complaining about tech, what are you doing there, John?
I am literally painstakingly going up and down with the streaks. Up and down with the fine brush, streaking, and then getting the flat brush wet with
Trying.
thinners and trying to soften it out. Which should be done over a smoother base coat because this base coat is a bit
Would
bumpy.
you look at that? Now that I've spent all this time fiddling with tech, all my latex is dried up. I can't even sponge it.
Yeah, that's not an annoying thing with that liquid mask. It literally dries and then ends up pulling it all off in your fingers, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that is, though, you can, if you mess up, you can easily fix it. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But my hat goes off to the Boba Fett makers that do the whole helmets over and day in, day out. They must go through buckets of that liquid mask.
Oh yeah. I, without fail, spill it every single time.
Yeah. And the lid ends up being just some huge rubbery plastic mess.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's already a little rubbery plastic mess already, and you know what I've started doing, because it's just gotten to on my nerves so much, is wearing gloves when I'm gluing things, because my fingers are caked with glue by the end of the day. That like I can't even touch my wife because it's so like
well, at least you can go out and steal things now because your fingerprints won't be
true. That I could do.
registered.
Yeah, that works. I hope this.
One thing I have done wrong with this model, I've gone every which way you can with streak marks. It doesn't flow at all with the air flow of the ship.
There's no like gravity to it.
There's no logic at all. I've just done what looks nice rather than should be correct. But finding ref for this, you've got like the cartoon ref in Rebels, then you've got Rogue One, which is hardly any at all, and then you've got the Rise of Skywalker, which is hardly any at all, and then you've got.
What'd you say? What was that? What was that movie?
Rise of Skywalker. It's in that as well at the end.
What's that?
That happens to be a Star Wars film, Chris, that came out.
No, it's not. That's not blasphemy. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist.
Well,
it doesn't.
Well, put it this way. I was trying to watch like some films with my kids the other night, and I was like, well, they've seen Solo, they've seen Rogue One, and they've watched Ahsoka, and I was like, well, what else is there? I didn't even consider there was 3 movies made in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's not me like being like, harsh about it. It didn't even come into my head. No.
So when I see clips of it, and when I see, that there was a sandcrawler in one of those movies, I'm like, what? I honestly could tell you I don't remember a damn thing about any of those movies. Maybe Force Awakens a little bit, but not.
Well, I actually thought Force Awakens was quite good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was just like they set up a lot of good stories and then just destroyed it.
Well, yeah. I mean, and they played it safe by keeping it the same as the original. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I like this.
When Rogue One came out, I was well excited and I was happy with that.
Yeah. So I'm always afraid to do like chipping on the inside, like you did, like because I'm always thinking I'm going to do it on the edges, but the way you did it was freaking amazing.
Well, I've got a lot of foam.
You got what?
I've got a lot of foam here.
What, you want me to buy that one too, even though I have this one? You're not gonna sell that one. You got to keep that one. That one's just too.
I'm not selling that. No way.
No.
I used to say that I would only sell stuff that I could quite easily get again.
Yeah.
But that went out the window when people started offering me some good money for stuff, and I did need the money, so I have to sell it.
Yeah.
Because you just do have, in this hobby, you just have to keep, if you want to buy new stuff and you need new donor kits, you need to keep selling and, you know, keep the funds balance up.
Yep. And yeah, you used to, Jason and I used to talk about it. You were a very what's the word? Like there were a lot of times where we would either he or I would want to buy something from you, and you're like, yeah, I'll sell it to you, and then you change your mind because you liked it too much.
Yeah, that still happens.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times I get people saying, what do you mean that sold? You said you'd tell me when it was sold or you were selling it. And I just can't keep up with who asks for what.
Can't expect us to remember that.
Well, yeah. And I'm so erratic in what I do. I'm just like suddenly sell that quick. I need to buy this. That goes.
Yep.
And then when that happens, it's too late.
Yep. All right. I don't. Really
so I do apologize.
No, you don't. All right. I think I'm good here. I don't want to do too much. I don't really know what I want to do. Like I thought about maybe spraying it with, you know, another coat of white just to give it.
I thought you were going to go camo.
No. I actually thought about it. I think it would be a cool idea, but I feel like I'd probably regret that because I don't know.
It's quite drastic, and there isn't that many things out there in Star Wars that is camo.
No, there really isn't. Other than like, isn't that the concept? Speeder.
There's the concept speeder bike that was painted like that, but it never saw any screen time. And then I think one of the full size speeder bikes with the stormtrooper sitting on it, not the scout trooper, was camoed. But it doesn't feel right, does it, in Star Wars to have camouflage?
And there are some newer stuff in Star Wars, like in Mandalorian, the ATST has like a camo feel to it.
The red one.
Yeah, the one that like showed up in the forest in the dark with lights on it.
Yeah.
But doesn't really fit.
No, it's not right.
All right. I think that's okay. Like my first idea was to make it black, then white, and then you know, chip it and spray it with a little more white, and then I like the idea of like rust like coming through the paint.
Yeah.
On the bottom. I'm thinking I might spray some rust like down here, and then go over it with white, so that the rust looks like it's starting to rust underneath the paint. Like, did you do that on yours?
No, a lot of my stuff was topically done.
Okay. Like, I don't want it to be rust colored. I just want it to like show through a little bit, like it, like, you know how it looks when metal's rusting underneath the paint.
Yeah.
Which I probably should have sprayed the little bit of rust on before I chipped it, but let's see.
I'm going back to my old school roots with this.
See, my issue is, okay, like I can look at something. All right, let's say I'm looking at the Falcon and I can imitate it. Okay. But when I get to the point where I'm like this, what do I do next? I'm thinking
just the same.
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel. Yeah.
We're
great at forgery, but not that good at
no, I'm good at building it. I'm good at building it. Like that I can do. But when it comes to painting, that's where I'm like, all right, what do I do next? You know, like,
yeah.
Like, how would you think it would look if I just sprayed some of the edges with some rust and then go over it with white? Would that turn out okay?
It would turn pink.
It would turn pink.
Yeah. So with rust underneath base coats, it used to be like a dark brown.
That's what I'm kind of looking for.
Yeah, and then when you chip away, that dark brown appears as chips, and then you can streak that down with a rust tone, and it looks brilliant. Okay. But it depends if you want that as like a base coat or just a weathering effect.
I wanted the weathering effect.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, like a rust under, like even like a little bit of brown, maybe like the roast brown, just to give it like a darker underneath the white.
What about some blues, some colder tones,
Colder tones?
like some like greys, dark greys, and then put a color over the top of that. And when you chip it away, you get that sort of primer look.
Yeah, I thought. I mean that. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, really, it should be done on some scrap first, Chris, rather
Yeah.
than you having to respray it, which I know you
Yeah.
will. In a
I
week.
know. I'm trying to avoid that though. Like
Yeah.
that's. I'm really trying my hardest to not have to do this 3 times.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just putting too much thought in it. Maybe I'll just spray it with some white and see what happens, and then go from there. Hopefully, my I kept this paint in here. Hopefully, it didn't dry up.
Do you know what, Handy? These things.
Oh yeah. Let me make it bigger so I can see that. Hold that up. And what do you do with those?
Okay, so I'm literally going to just take one out now and then use. You can use the brush in it, but I tend to have more control. Sometimes I sometimes use the brush, sometimes I don't. And then you just literally pop it on for staining.
Oh, okay.
It's a panel line wash, but then literally some tissue and you got a massive stain there.
Yeah, that could work with if you don't have acrylics, like enamels, especially.
Yeah, so they are enamel. Sorry, I should have said that. They're all enamel.
Yeah.
And I've just brought them over here simply because I was airbrushing and all the Archive X enamels are all on the shelf. And I couldn't be bothered to, while we went live, I couldn't be bothered to pre-mix them all. But
plus the Archive X, Archive X enamels are precious right now.
They are.
You can't get any more.
Oh, no, they are.
So I'm just gonna base coat this white and then work on top. See what I come up with then. So I might mute because I'm gonna put my compressor on, but I can mute my. Fuck it. All right. Yep, I'm already dried up. In the tip. Let's see how it goes, John.
Yeah, if it's too noisy, just let me next time. Yeah.
I don't. My compressor doesn't run nonstop, so it's all right. I gotta turn it on. Duh, stupid.
There we go. Some spattering as well.
That would help.
Enamels are so versatile. They're lovely to work on over acrylics.
They are. I mean, I feel like acrylics are good for base coats, but like to work, I can't work with acrylics when it comes to like weathering. Not at all. And I'm getting fumes. Woo! Woo! I don't know how you do it with no mask on, John.
Well, I'm high all day.
Yeah, that's true. You don't get headaches by the end of the night?
Yes, I do. With enamels, I do.
I'm out already.
Well, with the rattle can, I will put. Well, I don't always. I should do. I'll try and put a mask on.
Yeah, the only reason I'm not right now is because we're talking. Otherwise, I'd have one on. Because by the end of the night, I have a headache for sure.
Super glue gives me a headache.
Yeah, super glue is bad. I lost my brush. Ook. Things are not going like I want. Oh, there it is. This is probably not fascinating TV, but this is kind of how it is, right?
Yeah, it's less than this because usually you're just on your own.
Right. At least we can talk.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm talking to you and I can't get things done because I'm too busy yakking.
Well, yeah, and that's at least you've got it sitting here in front of you, so we can just chat away and get it done at the same time. So that spattering I just did, that's almost disappeared now, but you can see it faintly, and that's all we need to break up that big sparse area of white.
Where at? Show me.
All around here.
Oh, okay.
It probably looks crap on camera because it's big.
No, you can see it well. You can see it pretty well. I don't really know how this is turning out.
I don't know if they can see that.
I think I'm just gonna go with what I was planning and just paint it like kind of like X-wing color, and then weather it. I think that's
yep.
Rather than screw something up that I don't want to have to paint the second time. I didn't.
No.
Marvin, how's this for TV? He said he was watching.
How is that so quiet, your compressor?
Is it?
Can't hear anything.
That was not a cheap compressor. Wasn't that cheap?
Chris doesn't do cheap.
I do, actually.
Okay, Chris is a cheap bastard.
My wife is cheap. I'm not as cheap as my wife. My wife. I did start out with, $20 airbrushes from Amazon.
Right.
And I went through so many of them. I was like, oh, you know what? I might as well just buy a good one.
Yeah, I've got about 12.
Are you really?
Yeah. I don't know why. They just like over 10 years, I get one like every year for some reason. And I started off with, I started off with one with the rattle can underneath, the compressed air cans.
Oh, yeah.
And that was such a stupid, expensive way of doing it. And I've bought loads of compressors and have been kindly sort of donated a few compressors in the past. And I've always just gone back to my cheap and cheerful original Revell, like £60 compressor.
Okay. Yeah, this compressor actually kind of lets me down sometimes. Like, it hasn't done it now, but normally what happens is I'll have to like pause my painting because it won't keep up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, damn it, I hate when I do that. Like I'll have to like it'll go and bog down, and then I'll have to stop and be just like do a little bit of air so it kicks it on again. It's like the whatever it is, the regulator or whatever it's called, doesn't work sometimes. And every single time I go to clean the outside of this, I bump it and more paint spills on the outside.
What make is it?
Grex.
Oh, okay, cool.
Got it from Jason.
Okay. That's why it keeps breaking.
Yes. I hope he hears that.
He won't. He won't watch this.
No, he will not actually watch this. I guarantee it. I told him about the original stream we did, the first, just the first channel stream.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Yeah. Did you watch it? No. Did you watch it?
No.
Did you watch it? No. All right. You know what? I really should paint the bottom too. What do you think? I'm a little worried to paint the bottom though because I don't want to break anything on top.
Oh, you got to flip it. Shit.
Yeah, I do. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet.
I literally got on the floor and sprayed upwards on mine because I didn't want to turn.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Marvin, are you the only one watching? We got one watcher, which is fine.
We don't want any more. Marvin will do.
Marvin will do. Yeah, I got to do the bottom. So how do I do this? I think I might.
But people can watch this back later, right? They can.
Yeah.
They can book themselves later.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a foam. Hold on.
So you can tap the brush and do a spattering that way.
Let's see here.
So I can just tap that brush and loads of spattering will happen, big blobs, and then they'll just fade away and hopefully blend in. Or create big tide marks, which can be quite interesting.
That's going to work. Okay. I am putting my mask on because I'll take it off as I talk to you.
Okay.
This bottom is good. I'll just hold it on the face. All right.
Marvin, if you can see us and actually work out what we're doing, let us know.
Yeah, he said he was just going to watch. He's at work.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He might not be able to comment.
Right. Well, they look crap.
I'm a little proud of you, John. That, like, I cannot for the life of me paint something that I just have zero interest in. Like that. If I don't have any interest, forget about it. It's not getting made.
The story behind me doing this, like I told you earlier on, was my children watched Ahsoka with me. And it was nice because I don't often get that experience watching Star Wars with my kids, because when the last 3 films that we were just slagging off came out, they were too young to watch it.
Yeah.
And The Mandalorian season 1 was even a bit too adult for them to watch with the violence and that sort of thing. But then Ahsoka came out, and my 2 eldest, it just worked out right that they were at the right age, that they could appreciate it. They knew what was going on because they'd watched the Rebels. And when I had no love for the Ghost, but then when I saw it on screen, it was that lovely moment of sitting back on the sofa with your 2 kids around you, all going, "Whoa, that was awesome!" And we shared that experience.
Yeah.
And they were like, "The Ghost is cool, you know." And I was like, "Right, well, I'll make one." Yeah, make one. So by the time I'd found the file I wanted, the person to print it, the time to build it, the time to prime it, now they're not even remotely interested anymore.
They're also very young and have small attention spans.
Yeah, exactly. They're busy doing other stuff like playing the Switch and stuff.
Right. Yeah, eventually they'll come around and be like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool, Dad."
Yeah. When I'm on my deathbed.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids are in their 20s, and they were the same way, and they're still kind of like that. They're not like, they like this stuff, but they're not into it like I am.
Yeah, but the mistake you make is if you force it on it, just because you like it doesn't mean someone else like it.
Right. Yeah, like I try to introduce this to my wife all the time. She has zero interest. Completely.
Well, I'm really into basketball, and I've tried to get my eldest into basketball, and he likes it. But his thing is what football, what you call soccer.
Yeah. And
I have no idea and no clue about it or anything. And he's talking to me about it, and I feel really bad that it just goes over my head and I can't understand. So I need to do my research on soccer.
That's how I am with rugby. My son is really into rugby. Like,
yeah, same with my kid. Yeah, and I'm the same. And I don't know any of the rules or anything. I'm terrible.
No, I went to it. I've been going to it now for 2 years. Okay. And in that 2 years, I still don't understand it. Like, I actually have been watching, and I've started to gather a little bit of knowledge for it, but there's still some really stupid rules in it. I don't. Like, why they lift each other up to catch the ball is beyond me. It looks really bizarre, but
pulling each other, pulling themselves up by their pants, like.
That's exactly it. And I'm like, why are you doing that? It's just like, I look at it and I think to myself, like, it's just stupid.
All the effort of running forward and then just losing it and having to start again.
like
Go to the
there's
ground.
so many stoppages. Okay, like they
Yes.
stop in it so much.
I
And
thought football. What you call football was bad with stoppages.
yes, there are a lot of stoppages in football. You're absolutely right. But the difference is the stoppages in football, they stop the clock. Okay.
Right.
In rugby, they don't stop the clock. So while the ref is like futzing around with stuff, you could have like 5-10 minutes of the game go by without,
Nothing
and
happening.
it's only sometimes they're like, God, I don't remember, 20-minute matches. It's like you wasted 5 minutes with the ref screwing around with stupid crap.
Yeah, you are totally right.
But my son actually this year he broke his ankle. He's not in it. So
Yeah, that's bad. My son's still, he's 11, so it's like it's at the age of just them learning it. But when you get to young adults and they're smashing themselves to bits, and you're hearing the thud, because obviously we're on the same pitch, and we hear the other players that are older playing it, and it's you walk past afterwards, get like when the game's finished and the other kids are still playing, and they're literally, it's like a fight. It's so bad.
But you know what the funny thing is, in rugby, like they beat the shit out of each other, okay, for 30 minutes. But then afterwards, like they're like kind of arguing and fighting with each other, and just be like nasty to each other. But then afterwards, it's a big party. It's just
and you're shaking hands and they're drinking, and
there's a lot more camaraderie in rugby than I've seen in any other sport. Like, and a lot of times they'll actually like play on each other's team in tournaments. Like my son has played on other teams that he doesn't even know the people, and it just doesn't matter. They just go and they play.
Yeah, like they say it's a hooligans game played by gentlemen,
right? And
soccer is a gentleman's game played by hooligans.
Soccer, okay. I'm gonna get on my high horse here. Soccer, I don't get into whatsoever, because I don't know. I watched this video the other day, and this guy was talking about the differences between hockey and soccer, and he was like, "How much skill does it take to kick a ball through a net that's the size of a pickup truck, compared to when you're trying to get a puck into a net that is the size of the goalie standing in front of it?" Like,
yeah, well, like the goal in hockey is tiny, right?
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, not hockey, soccer is slowly becoming extremely popular in the States.
Is it? Because when I was a kid growing up, it was not at all.
No, me neither. When I was in school, the kids who played soccer were the ones who could not play football.
Okay, right.
Basically. And they weren't as physical, I should say. Let's just put it let's put it nicely that way.
Right.
So,
well, this is John and Chris's sports roundup.
This is our conversation though, like on the phone too.
Yeah.
We can go from one subject to another and back to modeling. Like, we don't just sit and talk modeling all day.
That is true.
Yes. And more times than not, we're laughing so hard that,
Yeah, well, nothing like that can be repeated live.
No. Nothing at all. So, John, I have to tell you, my wife, I know my wife's not watching this. She'll never watch this. But I asked her yesterday, I'm like, I couldn't, I had to. It was killing me all day not to ask her this question.
Right.
So I'm like, so do you know why we celebrate Thanksgiving? I said, do you know that John doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving? She's like, don't be an asshole.
Well, I think you have to give some backstory now to why that is funny.
Oh man, it's so funny. No, I cannot tell it on public TV. She was so mad that I told you about it.
Oh God.
And I said, why does it matter? You're never gonna meet John. What does it matter?
Yeah.
And she's like, Well, he thinks I'm an idiot now. I'm like, well, that's not the reason he thinks you're an idiot. But
Yeah, you're making this sound terrible.
Oh yeah. My wife used to be able to handle my humor, where I, bust on her, but not so much anymore.
Oh, we're just no. Well, we're just annoying now. We're just like
Yeah,
we're the extra child.
Yeah, very much exactly. Yeah. But I was dying yesterday to ask her, do you know? And she didn't. So
Oh, really?
No, she did not. And then she called her kids in and asked them if they knew what it was, and neither of them knew either. So I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh man. Well, Chris, I can't actually see at all what you're doing, so I hope it's going well.
It's going okay. I'm just kind of hesitant on what I want to do. Like, I don't know. I just don't have a clear picture as to. I mean, I'll do it as I'm doing it. I'll just be like, oh, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. But like thinking about it from the beginning and saying, all right, I'm going to do this. This is how this is supposed to look. That don't really work with me.
No, well, with mine, I said about the whitewash, didn't I? I kept going on about that whitewash.
Yeah, but you did. That's almost like a whitewash, right?
It is, but it turned so subtle to the point where you can only kind of see it if you zoom into the pictures and you go into it.
Well, that's what I want. I like that. I really love what you did, and if I wasn't so against copying it, I would copy it.
Dude, copy it. You copied my gun, so
yeah, I did. Yeah, that gun. Oh no, I didn't. I kind of copied it. Almost. Oh, I actually added a lot more.
You made it a twin barrel. That's right.
Yeah, I made a twin barrel and added some parts on that you didn't have, and I kind of used yours as a base.
Well, let's not forget that we're just using Andy's.
This is true.
Everything we're doing is a copy of Andy's, and we wouldn't be able to do it without Andy. And holy shit, have you seen how good his paint work is of that escape pod and the Falcon that he's put on?
Oh God, yeah. Like the Falcon. Like I thought I did good on my Falcon. I really did. I thought, but then now that
his and guys are the best Falcons I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Without doubt. It's just phenomenal.
But you know what?
And he did that with Tamiya paint before any research. He didn't speak to anyone else. He didn't have any help. He just quietly got on and just repainted the Master Replica Falcon like that.
I made my pits dark. Okay, which I really, really wish I had it. Like, because I look at the pictures, and I don't know what I was seeing. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I was doing because.
Well, you didn't have those. You didn't have those ref pictures you got now.
True. But like, it's so much better when the pits aren't black. It's like when they're the base color. It's so much better.
Yeah, isn't that a weird thing? Why is that? What, like, you're so right. You'd think a well that has all that shadow in it should be dark, but because of the way it's built, it has enough shadow in itself. It creates its own shadow that when you do it light, it looks really good. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking at this now, trying to figure out what the hell I want to do.
I can't believe I'm literally using traditional pin washes now. This is like old school, but not old ILM school. This is old, or even sort of current armor modeling style, but it's kind of working with this. And I'm using it as staining. I'm not doing every panel line. I'm literally just here and there when it suits me. I'll drop a little black in or something.
Let's see what this looks like. Let me take this mask off. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Better than I thought. Oh yeah.
That sounds really good, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put my head upside down and look into a lamp that's on top of my model to have a look at yours.
Yeah, I'm starting to take the mask off. And it's like a gray underneath.
Yeah, that's a good. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Isn't that a lovely moment when you're taking that mask off? Or it can be hideous. It's one
Oh
or the
yeah,
other.
it can be very hideous sometimes. I wonder if I should spray over it with a little more white just to not make it so stark, or if I should just go with yeah, I'm gonna go with some white, a little bit more white, just to tone it down a little bit. I like that. A lot. I think this is the, you know what else is lovely about doing this one, like with the acrylic instead of a resin kit? No paint lifting. This paint is gonna stick. It's not gonna come off. You know, like when you pull off the tape and some of the paint comes with it. Are you still there? You lost. You went somewhere. Yeah, I when you have the resin kits have a lot of uh what's it called, the spray that you put on that, my brain is drawing a blank right here. What the name of it? To mold release, and that just takes off, so you can take it out of the mold, and it doesn't stick in the silicone, but it also leaves an oily residue that makes it very difficult to paint. In fact, the paint won't stick to it, and a lot of times, I can tell you how many times I had to redo something because mold release, even if I wash it, a lot of times I still get stuck with it. I still have it for some unknown reason. It's annoying, but another reason to not do resin kits. I am liking this. John, where are you, man? You left me. No, we got 4 people watching. Wow, how about that?
Sorry, Chris. I've just completely ignored you for the last few minutes. I've had to go.
No, I was talking to you, and then for like 10 minutes, and then I realized after I was done talking, you weren't there.
Did I miss much?
You missed a hell of a lot, actually.
Oh God.
We're gonna have to go back and replay. I was saying how I was actually talking to you and saying how nice it is to know that I'm not gonna have to worry about mold release taking
exactly.
taking this stuff off. Answering another call. Yep. John is supposed to be working right now, but he is slacking off and painting instead. On the other hand,
I just ignored it. Don't worry, I didn't go and answer it.
Okay. Did you hear what I said?
I did.
I'm throwing you under the bus.
You could not be more correct.
Me, I am getting paid whether I work or whether I'm painting, which is,
yeah, well, that's just showing off.
That is. My wife gets so mad when I brag, but oh. I like this, John. I wish I'd have done a little bit better on that.
I'm going to see if I can see it. Let me have a look.
Let's get.
That's me coming under the camera. Hi.
Let's see if I can make it so you can see it. You see it?
Oh yeah, I can. That's nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Like some of this is a little too. I'm gonna go over it with a little more.
Can you make it? Can you make it full screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's nice.
Let's see if you can. I can bring it closer, maybe. It loses the light. I can't really see that.
That looks way more Hoth than mine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. More Hoth.
Yeah.
I had so many different thoughts on what I should do. You know, like even I thought, should I paint it sand colors? You know, but the picture is definitely Hoth. You know, it's not
Oh yeah, absolutely. They had
I
the
wish,
planet nailed down, and they knew it needed to be in a snowy
yeah,
environment.
I wish I would have actually filed these edges. I could see a little cut edge on
What I need now is a cotton bud, and I have used them all, so I might have to go into the bin and just use an old cotton bud.
that. That's a Q-tip to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you use tape to take off your mask?
Do I use what?
Masking tape to take off the latex.
Sometimes, or I use those rubber-tipped sculpting tools.
Okay. Yeah, because this is like, if sometimes you miss what you actually
Oh
put
yeah,
on,
yeah. I do that all the time.
especially after you've painted it. You don't see it very well, you know.
Yeah.
And like you have to like it doesn't. I found what was it I did? It was the X-wing. I had
It was the what? Sorry.
X-wing when I did my X-wing. I had mask all on it, right?
All right. Yeah.
And there was a lot of red. Okay. So then what was happening was the red paint flakes ended up getting stuck into like the pores of the white, and it made it look pink. Mother.
Oh, yes, that's happened with me before. Yeah.
So, but then the tape actually pulled the paint flakes out of the white, which worked really nicely.
Oh, cool. Well, sometimes what happens to me when, like, say, like, if you look at like one of my panels here, if I mask that like red one off,
Hold on, I gotta make myself not big screen. Stitch panel.
so I mask that red one off, and then I'll rub the muscle off. You'll get a pink streak of like where the. You have got to be careful.
You've made that completely filthy.
I have, haven't I?
Are you gonna miss it?
Do you think
then,
I made it too filthy?
No, well, I mean, it looks on here a little dark, but when in the pictures that I've seen, it doesn't look too dark, too dirty.
I'll put some pictures up later on onto my page, and then you'll see it's under daylight and like not like a little warm lamp like this. It looks
the warm lamp makes it look darker for sure.
Yeah,
I like this.
well, that's good to hear, dude.
I think I did the right. I masked on it. I was a little worried. Okay, after my Slave One debacle, where I masked it, didn't make the base color dark enough. I'm always worried about like doing it too early or too late. You know, but I think I got the right spot.
What about Stefan Hacker's Ghost? Did you see that?
That's freaking brilliant. That is
unbelievable. That dude can scratch build like.
I'd never heard of him before.
He's mastered kits. He's like been around doing he was a Falcon guy, really. He was like, he did the solo Falcon out of the D'Agostini kit.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like the solo Falcon.
I do.
I like it. I that's something I would like to build, but probably
the Bandai one is a good one to build.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like small, but you know, it's detailed well, like all other Bandai kits.
Listen, John, I don't do small.
I know.
I really don't. I don't. Very rarely do I do a small little Bandai kit or something like that.
Well, it makes me laugh that you've never built a styrene kit before.
No, I never have.
I mean, talk about running before you can walk, but you can run. But the fact that you've just like gone straight from not even building a model kit into like doing big studio scale stuff.
Well, when I bought both the D'Agostini and the Sandcrawler, right, at the same time, and I really wanted a Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
So I was debating, all right, what should I stop first? Thank God I started with the D'Agostini, because if I'd have tried to build that Randy Cooper kit first, I may not be doing this hobby. Because
it can put you off for life, right?
It can. There's a lot to do to that thing. And the big the Falcon was, you know, basically paint by numbers, basically.
Yeah.
It's really laid out so anybody can do it.
But that does end up being your Facebook. This is going to sound terrible, but your Facebook feed filled with really badly done Falcons.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, each their own. Everyone's entitled to have fun with model building and do what you want. But the fact that people didn't care even to look at any ref, they just painted it like a toy.
You never want to, like, there's a lot of, not right now, but eventually I think there'll be a lot of people who are, you know, just starting.
Yeah.
And some of them are going to be bad, you know, but you don't want to be negative.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere, but you don't want to be negative and be like, oh, it doesn't look great. You know, like, you got to do your best to try to.
Oh yeah, you can't just say this sucks. You got to
yes.
But then also you can't be the guy that starts posting your work on other people's threads and say this is how it should be done.
Right. Exactly. You don't want to be look at me, you know.
Yeah, you can't. It is an unwritten rule in model building when you post it online not to post your model underneath and say this is mine because no one asked you for it.
That's true. But like I want to be encouraging to people to keep doing it. You know, a lot of people can take actually real criticism. You know, a lot of people can, but a lot of people cannot. You know, and so you got to try to find a good, happy balance. You know.
Yeah. I think if you're going to put your work online, if you're putting it on your own page, then maybe criticism isn't welcome. But if you're going to put it on a group where people post a lot of their work and talk about different types of modeling and that, you have to prepare yourself to have your model criticized somewhat.
True. But you also don't want it to be harsh criticism. You want it to be
there's no point just being nasty.
Yes.
You need someone to follow it up with a helpful tip or, you know.
Yes.
But sometimes if someone's literally just showing their work, this sort of goes against what I just said. They literally just want to share it.
Yeah.
Then maybe that you don't criticize. But if someone's literally saying, "What do you guys think?" or, you know, "What could I have done better?" that opens the doors to kindly give someone some help. You know, tips.
That's the key word there, John. Kindly.
Yeah.
You just gotta. You don't want to be mean. Because you don't want to scare people out of the hobby either, you know, like
exactly.
There's a big barrier to this hobby. There's a big, huge barrier, and it's got a stigma
so long to learn.
Yeah, and it's got a real stigma too. Like
I
know a few people who are like very hesitant to get into this hobby arena because it can get ugly, you know, and.
So. Easily scare people off if you're just browsing and you think you've sat at home doing your hobby and you've just made something that is your creation and you think you've done something really good, and then you see someone tear someone else's model apart, you're going to be really hesitant about putting yours online.
Yes, or even continuing to work on it.
Yeah, and if you don't put it online, then you might not get the criticism you need to progress to make you better. So it's a catch-22, isn't it?
Right. But it is kind of defeating when you feel really good about something and then somebody's like, "That's not good," you know.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
It is. There's just ways of dealing with things, you know.
Yes.
Well, I don't think I should put on any more wash staining because the reason I've put on so much is your fault, Chris, because I can't use the airbrush, so I'm sat here.
Well, you can get the airbrush out. That's fine.
Well, I have got to shoot soon, so I will not do that at the moment. But
all right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I don't know what the docking rings seem pretty plain, but there's no. Again, looking at this with the ref, there isn't any decent ref out there. But there is decent ref, but they all contradict each other. There isn't like a.
There's not really one model that you can kind of follow.
No, like with the Falcon, there was a 32-inch for Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, and that was it for a long time until The Force Awakens came out, and then that added a little bit of a twist. But with this, it seems to change in every single thing it's in because it's CGI, isn't it? They just tweak it.
All right, I got all the mask off. I think I'm gonna go over these spots a little bit just to like tone them down a little bit and blend them in some. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I went with the white Hoth look. I really am.
Right, hang on. I'm gonna just take my phone off so I can see. There I am. Oh God, look at me. Disgusting. Put yours on on full screen quick before
It's subtle. I mean,
yeah, man.
Just some chipping. What do you think?
That is subtle, dude, and I really like that.
That side I'm not as happy with the spots, but I don't know. I'm gonna go over them.
Well, you can blend them in with streaks and stuff.
Yeah,
You can make that work.
Yeah, that side I'm not as happy with. It's a little less, a little more just spots, and that's the.
I'm loving that color.
Yeah, I am too.
What color did you go for?
Reefer white over black.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that color is lovely.
Yeah.
Looks cold already.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna just do a misting of SP lettering over top of that then.
Yeah, because Reefer White can go warm sometimes if you lay it on thick, but then over a black, it can look like how you've got it there.
Yeah, I wish I'd have done these spots a little bit better. So I'm gonna tone those down so they're not as prevalent. I kind of used a little bit too heavy, I think, with the mask.
Well, maybe.
I'll just go over it, blend it a little bit. And then
how do you find that trigger brush?
I don't like it for details at all. I really don't like it. Like for weathering and stuff, I hate it. But for base coats and stuff, it's really great. I use.
Well, I know Lee Ralph uses one, doesn't he? And he does his pretty well with it.
Does he? I didn't know that. I'm not happy with those spots. I'm happy with the other side. We'll make it work.
Here comes the black primer again.
No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. We'll just tone them down a little bit, but then I might lose my color if I keep going over too much white. I don't know. We'll see. It might be more black primer. Who knows?
Well, I hope not, dude.
I hope not too, because that's going to be a pain in the ass to do it.
No, you'll save it. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing there to save. It's just you're being fussy.
I am being fussy. I am a little fussy when it comes, but like one thing I got to start learning to do is just trust the process, the layers.
Yeah.
Which I get a little nervous when I see something like this, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I better repaint it.
Everything looks harsh and in your face when you're starting off. It all comes together at the end.
It does. So that'll work. I think that's a good start. I think I'm gonna do some chipping, some streaking, or maybe I should first go over it with a coat of the SP lettering to get the color that I want.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure
well, if you go with that now, that I mean, the rule of thumb is that you missed at the end, but I don't. I do it midway just to get a feel of how it's looking.
Well, I think all right. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like I do an X-wing. I'm just gonna these blotches that I did, but all right, we'll make it work.
But dude, I've got to shoot, so
okay.
I appreciate you chucking me on with you, and I'll speak to you guys later on.
Let me get off this. Just me. Oh, you're not there anymore. Okay. Yeah. All right, man. This was cool. Yep. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea if it's something that people are interested in or not, but it was fun to do. So
it was a test, wasn't it?
Yeah, a test. I'm all for just trying different stuff and seeing what works.
Exactly.
All
All
right,
right,
man.
dude.
Talk
Speak
to
to
you
you
later.
later on.